Well, I think I owe you all very much something, as if anybody passerby has seen the channel, they'd realize, oh, you have a video. Thank you. You notice. And then you didn't post anything for let's go with months. Month sounds pretty good, doesn't it? I mean, true. So I feel like it's fitting. I owe everybody an explanation as to why, or at least what I've been up to. And forgive me if I sound quite awful. It is. Let's just go 2 in the morning. It's 2 in the morning where I am right now, and I cannot sleep. It's nothing big. This is just something that happens. Usually, I have like little bits of. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say insomnia, but something where I just can't sleep. Anyway, um, as for videos, I do plan to make more. A lot more as like something I have in my downtime, but in between then and now, there was obviously a bit of a content drought going on at that time, and then I think around the time where I was going to start working on it again because I had stuff to do was when the pandemic hit. So that is there. Pretty much when that hit, I moved out of the household I was recording and streaming, which, yes, I did stream. Very, very little, but hey, it gathered some followers, so probably should start that back up at some point. I'm getting off track. Uh, Again, apologies. I can't speak today, apparently. Or, yeah, no, I guess it's still a today. Anyway, um, I lost track. Okay, yeah. I had left home. I got a dog who is snoring right next to me. She is not even a year old. Her name is Petra. She is a pit bull lab mix, and she just realized I said her name and now wants a belly rub. Anyway, um, so I got that. I got her. I got something with holidays came up. I have a poor memory. I'm just trying to explain everything that did happen that I can remember right off the bat. Um, there is actually a couple videos in the catalog, but are not public view because one reason or another, I know I have the almighty destruction and my reaction to that with somebody on the side who's trying to get into the game and can't, so they asked me, describe it. So I describe the situation, and it's kind of funny because as soon as it starts, I'm like, yeah, no, it's not blowing up yet. It's taking a long time, and that's exactly when it blows up, which is great. Uh, that had. I wouldn't say I didn't put it out because of how much foul language it had, but I felt like I overused. Um, I overused it. I overdid it a bit. Uh, some of it would obviously feel forced because I feel like some of it was a little forced for emphasis, but that was also probably a bit pushed because of how long I had sat there waiting, staring at a giant H in the sky that finally blew up. There is another one. I think there's actually a couple from recent raids me and my group did that I just didn't post, and that one's on me. That one's not really. There's no reason I shouldn't have been able to post those. It's just I didn't edit them, and obviously, if you saw my first video, I at least edited very little, but I try editing it. It's crappy editing, but it exists. Um, just like my PvP skills. Hey! But, yeah, I just recently moved back I would say I've been here for a couple weeks. Uh, and all the while this is happening, I went from academic probation uh, in my college or my university. So that happened, and I will say I was partially understandable because there were things that I did wrong and basically skipped classes, but otherwise, understandably, I was pissed. Um, I'm saying a lot. I don't know if that's just me or if that's the 2 a.m. kicking in. But yeah, I ended up going through. Let's see. I ended up going through academics. I think suspension, not probation. I don't remember. It's one of the two that they give out. I'm back. I don't have uh, financial aid, so I've got to work around that. I have to take a math course, just one. Hopefully, I can pass it. I've always been abysmal at math, which is why I also ended up switching my major. For those of you who don't know, which is everybody, uh, I went into majoring for game design. Uh, I wanted to create a game. That's the reason why, or actually, I want to create several games. But it came down to it. Coding is not my forte. It's not that I can't understand it. It's just that it's a bit too complex and monotonous for me. But I switched my major to graphic arts, which is, digital art mainly is what my focus is. And there's actually a focus for video game art. I don't remember what exactly it's called, but it is just focused specifically that. It's like 3D models and art and all that kind of stuff, and that's what I'm going into. But, so yeah, had to change majors. I then proceeded to have trouble getting in contact with them to set up this semester, this fall semester. And now that I've finally got that set up, okay, I'm gonna put this out there. I am like 80% sure I have this fully set up, but I might not. And if I don't, expect me to cover this in another video and basically have me say in that video, I got a lot of free time to work on videos now. But should have that set up. So again, I won't be completely absent, not as absent as I was, but I should focus a little bit on academics, at least until I'm comfortable with where I'm at in the grade. Now I will probably have sick days and, well, let's just put quotation there, sick days, but I might get a video out, I might not. But my plan is at least one video per month. And if it's something that's like, 10 seconds, like the very first video I ever posted, I'm going to try to aim for like 2 or 3 of those a month. Now, if there's something where it's like, 10, 20 minutes, that's probably going to be one a month. If not, just a sort of content dump. Like if I get a few good clips from raids and I put them into like, say, a 30-minute video, but I have that for, like 3 different raids, I might end up putting one out, the other out, and the third out. And that would just be like content dump for the month. Or I could combine it all into one and do that as a just single video. That'd be way too long though. Anyway, what I'm getting at is not completely, but I am back and I'm going to try to work on things. It is going to be a tough ride. While I do want to do this as a hobby, and college will make that difficult to do effectively, I am hoping to get my major in graphic arts, show off some of my stuff, and work with a specific group. I'm not going to name what group it is, but it's a group that I know some people in there personally, and I want to actually help out. But when it comes down to payment, I don't know. I'll probably have to find something to get paid for, whether it be working as a crappy artist on DeviantArt or going and I would say getting a part-time job, but that's very difficult in this day and age, especially at this time. Uh, my brain's going numb. Sorry. Um, yeah. Uh, just gonna say, just cut that off from like my life, and now we'll talk about the channel. So, some people who apparently had watched me stream just found me on YouTube. I don't think they subbed, but that doesn't matter to me. They were asking me, oh, why aren't you doing streaming? Why are you doing YouTube instead? And the reason for that is mainly because, well, to put it very briefly, internet wasn't good enough. It wasn't terrible, especially when I set up a wired connection. But the problem is those who know Jess, somebody I play alongside with, or I streamed with. She didn't stream, but that is my sister. We are currently sharing a residency at the moment. The problem came down to only one of us could have a wired connection, and then whichever one didn't had absolutely abysmal connection. To be fair, it's not completely fixed this way. In fact, our router will blip in and out sometimes, and it'll disconnect from servers, at least on Destiny. Occasionally it happens on games like Warframe and stuff, but Destiny, I believe it's a bandwidth issue, maybe, I don't know. I'm not an expert, but yeah, keep it short. That's why I switched over to YouTube, because I could make these and then edit them and then send them out. I say that like I've sent out multiple videos, but shh, hush hush, little ones or big ones. I don't know your size or age. Next question. Where have I been? I kind of explained that entirely in the first bit. We're just going to sum it up as I took a break because laziness and mental health issues. I didn't talk about the mental health issues, but I'm not going to get into too detailed explanations, just issues. And then, shit happens. The virus happens. And now the important part is I am back. What times do I upload? Like I said, I have absolutely no time frame. I know that I didn't have a time frame when I'm streaming. I'm not going to have a time frame when I'm uploading. I'm going to try to get them out before, 2 a.m. But that might not happen if I'm being honest. Well, some of them might. I'll probably actually do things like Q&As, which this is kind of like 1/3 Q&A. I'm just answering some really simple questions, some that are written down and some that are like right off the bat. Do I plan on just covering Destiny? Not exactly. This is hard for me because I made the channel and put the first video out based on Destiny content, because to me Destiny content was easier to manifest at the time. I could just do a quick 30-minute Crucible match. That's not right. Crucible matches are a lot shorter than 30 minutes. I think they're like 15 minutes. Anyway, I can do a couple matches and then take the funny moments and cut them down. Like the first one. That was one match, and it was a shot that scared the living hell out of me. That's what the video was out there for. Was some people had said, oh, that's not the best shot I've ever seen. No, it wasn't. It wasn't out there to be a good shot. It was out there to be the fact that I somehow managed that shot because I got the shit scared out of me. Which, funny enough, that's actually how I make a lot of my good shots with a sniper or a shotgun. Well, let's say a slug shotgun. I don't. I really don't like base shotguns. I don't really know why, honestly. Uh, I'm not even that good with a slug anymore because in between then and now, I had this really good blasphemer, and yes, that's how you pronounce it. Uh, it was a kinetic slug shotgun with snapshot sights and opening shot, and oh my god, it was great. It was something that I would use whenever enemy decided, oh, I'll shotgun rush instead, so I couldn't snipe. And oh man, just the headshots I could pop with that thing when just jump in the air. It was beautiful. And then I got Truth Teller. I think it's this season. I have to check. Give it a moment. Yep, it's this season. I got Truth Teller this season. Used it almost exclusively because this was this. Funny enough, was the weapon that most people hated the fact I used. I don't have one black powder yet, and I want one black powder. But Spike Nades currently is still really, really good. It was a grenade launcher from the first year that just now got its second. It's random rolled variant, but it was my only year one non Leviathan weapon that actually was masterworked. Well, that I kept. I obviously had some masterwork that I deleted, mainly the Hockey Scout rifles. Bungie, where are those at? Come on, guys, please. I loved those guns. Okay, but I kept that, and it got to I think like 50,000 kills. No, I think 30,000. I think I got to third. No, I think there's it's somewhere between 20 and 30. I don't remember anymore. I recently dismantled it because, well, I got a new one, which it's got like. Oh wow! I swear I thought it was only like 70 in the Crucible. Yeah, it's already stacking up. It's not 10,000 yet, but hey, he'll get there if I actually remember to put the tracker on. Cause funny thing is I have used this in like 2 raids, the dungeon like twice, and I never switched it off Crucible Tracker because I'm an idiot. But yeah, it's great. But yeah, when it comes to other content, back on track, I do want to do some Warframe videos, just because that's one of the other games I really spend a lot of my time playing. Heck, you guys might even find some like Minecraft videos out there one day. Now, something that I would like doing is setting it up on my laptop, which it's not a PC, so it can't run amazing things, but it is a gaming laptop, or it was designed to be one, built to be one, I should say. And I would like to sit there and set up things like get a decent graphics card, make actually really nice stream or video-esque things. There's a couple of games on my laptop I would love to play and record and just mess around in. Mainly multiplayer based stuff. Well, not the games themselves, but the content. Like, God, I love Terraria, or Terraria, whichever one you want to say, but I love it modded because the creativity that comes from mod creators is just mind blowing. Starbound is another similar thing because it's kind of like Terraria, but space. And I love space. But yeah, one day I would hope to have a ton of different content on the channel that's not just Destiny and Warframe and like two other things. But right now, those are the games that I feel like I perform the best in. That's saying something with how absolute garbage I am at PvP these days. Uh, but I perform pretty decently in those games. And those are the games that I feel like I can make more entertaining content out of. Warframe is a very, well, I hate to say very boring. It's not boring, but it is a game that, in my opinion, is something that you play when you want to play a game, but you don't want to think a whole lot. Like you do some math to make a build, and then you just mess around and just think. You don't think. But I feel like I could. I hate to say make build videos because that's so basic to me. I want to have my own little niche thing, but oh man, I don't know. Maybe I'll start a series on K-Drive racing. Oh, that'd be great. I would absolutely despise myself because I would have to get every single race done again. Anyway, yeah, too long didn't watch. Will I be doing just Destiny? No, I don't plan to, at least. Next question. What is my preferred loadout? Well, that is fun because for PvE, you're actually looking at it. I switch my primary and secondary and heavy every now and again. Mainly I switch between these two weapons when it comes to legendaries. I have to remember the names because they're cutting it off. I know this is Falling Guillotine, but I can't remember this. Temptation's Hook, there we go. But then aside from those, I mainly run Heir Apparent because I like my shield. As for primaries, it goes between Wither Horde, because I really like Wither Horde right now. Cold Denial, Old Fashioned, Lumina, it pretty much is all of these, if I'm just going to be honest. And then for PvE, when it comes to my secondary, it's mainly Truth Teller, the Kilo Sniper Rifle, Point of the Stag, and occasionally First In, Last Out, which is a slug shotgun I just got, but I just doesn't feel the same, and I don't really know why. I don't know if it's that the other one had better target acquisition or aim assist or whatever, or if it's just the fact it doesn't have snapshot sights. Which, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this only has a stability, and I'm wanting to get a roll with this, but as handling. And then for my sniper, I tend to like Distant Tumulus. Fight me. I know a lot of people when this came out were really, really upset because it also came out with the 140s got a nerf, but this is the same thing as the Apostate basically, except I think it has a longer zoom, and a lot of people hate that. And honestly, I hate it too. The only reason I use this is simply because it's dead orbit, and it's not going away immediately. Yeah, and then when I'm using like a special weapon in my top, usually it's my Fool's Remedy I'm coming out with, which this is honestly probably my favorite role so far. I don't know what else can go with a fourth time's a charm. That's not that great, but I'm really liking Iron Grip. Could probably make it work better if I had a reload masterwork or something to increase the reload speed, but that's why my gauntlets over here have Siren Loader. Would have enhanced, but I need extra reserves to balance out this setup. As for my supers, it is honestly just between like two, which is Chaos Reach and Nova Warp when it comes to PvP, and then Chaos Reach and Nova Bomb, and well, depends on what my team needs. If my team needs a well, I'll run well. Otherwise, I kind of like to run my Arc. That's not to say that I think any of the other supers are bad. I really like Chaos Reach Chaos Reach is a fun super, but it's god awful in PvP. I will be the first person to admit that. Um, don't get me wrong, it can make some amazing plays, but it's not. It's if anybody has that, or at least had that issue of you Nova Bomb, and then the glide takes you into a, or well, not even the glide, just the you Nova Bomb and you hit the tip of something hanging from the ceiling and it blocks it. Yeah, Chaos Reach does that too. And I hate it. I hate it so much. Honestly, all of the problems in my opinion for Chaos Reach could be solved, well for me at least, if they gave you the option to change your elevation. Like you can move side to side, but I don't know, holding L1 will lower you and holding R1 will raise you up. Something, I don't know. I feel like that would at least make it really nice. I mainly use it for the ball lightning, which is, think of the new solar melee for warlocks that came out recently. This was it first. Alright, guys, solar warlock mains. Alright, back off. This had it first. And Ionic Trace. Ionic Trace doesn't really... Pulse Wave is kind of okay, but if I'm that low on health, I'm not going to be utilizing any of my speed things, really, except to get away. But Ionic Trace is something that it's a passive, and I love what it does as a passive, which defeating an enemy has a chance to create an Ionic Trace, which is that little shark wing. What is that? Shark fin thing that comes after you. It gives you a ton of energy, especially since it's giving it to your grenade, your melee, and your well. And I believe it gives you super energy too. It's just so nice. I will say though, I wish they would change this emblem, because this is my arc emblem. I love my arc, I really do. But also looking at the kills now, I believe, I actually don't know if this has anything to do with weapons, I believe it was only 20,000. Yeah. I guess I'll go ahead and like put that back on for now. Or not, I really like that. Only two more questions. One of the questions left being, what do I plan on recording in Destiny? Or other games. In Destiny, as of this moment, probably the soonest videos you guys are going to get are going to be PvE activities. Unless, I say unless here, unless Trials this next time around, which I believe is tomorrow when this is being recorded. Or actually, I believe it's today when this is being recorded. Unless that is 5 wins or 7 wins for the helmet, you know, not flawless or anything like that, it's probably going to be PvE stuff from a couple days ago. If it's if it is that, then I have somebody who was kind enough to basically say, "Hey, I'll help you." And I hate to say this because it makes me sound so just trash, but I don't want to play Trials. I don't want to play Trials anymore. The amount of times I've tried and failed and tried and failed. I'm not getting flawless unless, you know, just a stroke of undeniable luck. I don't plan to get flawless. I'm not hoping to get flawless. Honestly, if you ask me, the best looking emblem is only one victory. I believe it's only one victory. The black and gold one. That to me is the best looking emblem. I don't like gold on glowing red. I don't think it's a good color combo. I feel like gold should either be going with things like blues and greens, and reds should be mainly going for silvers because of how it contrasts. I'm sorry, that's my artsiness getting out. Yeah, if that's the case, if they want me to be in a party, I'll be in a party. You guys might not get the video then. If they're going to be like, oh no, we can get you there without you being in a party, I'll probably set up a party and commentate. I'll cut out rage as much as I can, but yeah. That would probably be the video, because it would just be me getting the helmet, putting it on, deleting my current helmet and just celebrating. The biggest reason I want this helmet so bad, other than it looks gorgeous, is back in D1 in the first game, I I had the opportunity to get this helmet and chose not to because the game was ending at that point. Or at least that armor set was ending. It's either the game or the armor set was ending, and I didn't feel like grinding for it. I had been burnt out from PvP very early on. I went flawless once in Destiny 1, simply because I'll straight up say it, I was an inexperienced casual. I got carried half the way. I started pulling my weight through the next half, which that's not my words, that's theirs. And then I saved all of our asses on the very last game, because if we had lost one more, we would have lost the entirety of our card. I played Hunter. This was also the first iteration of Trials. I played Hunter. I didn't main Hunter, but I played it because I wanted Trials. I wanted to go flawless. And Hunter was the only character I had that was well versed enough in PvP. His abilities I understood the best. His super I didn't kill myself with. I basically was taking every precaution to protect the credibility of the team. And I don't remember what weapons I used because it didn't matter. Because like I said, I kind of got carried most of the way. The last game, though, I still hold a special place in my heart. Both my teammates were down. It was going to be a 1v1 situation. They were cheering me on, but doing it cautiously, which was funny. And I threw a trip mine, completely missed my target. Threw a throwing knife because he was rezzing somebody, and I got the guy as he resurrected his buddy, and his buddy resurrected somebody else. I got a throwing knife on somebody else, and then the grenade detonated as the last guy went for the third res. So I won that way, and the screaming was beautiful. But I don't play Hunter much at all, so I was happy with those throwing knives. I really should have recorded it, but back in the day, I was on Xbox, and it was back in the 360 days. So, I say that like it was a decade ago. I'm sorry. My birthday was recently, so I'm feeling old. All right. Last question. I don't know if the other one was going to be the last question or not. Will you start streaming again? I don't know. I really don't know. The reason I had this one be the last one is because this is the one that I actually have no solid answer for. There are days where I will be home alone, obviously, so I can use those to stream something and not affect somebody's gameplay. There's also the thing that I'm worried about the most, which is getting back there and trying to start a following, and then trying to direct everybody to the YouTube channel, because that'll probably be where I'm spending more of my time. And if there's one thing I've learned from streaming on Twitch, which is where I would stream because it's directly connected to PlayStation, it's, well, for one, the Twitch community ain't the most welcoming, and I'm sure there are some people that are just absolute cuddle bears in every form of the sense, except the bear part. Just people who are amazing, who are incredible community content creators and all that. But when it boils down to starting out, it's difficult in YouTube as well, but with YouTube I don't have to dedicate myself quite so much, because back when I streamed on Twitch, I gathered At one point, I had like 30 followers, which, for some people, it's like, oh, that's nothing. I know that's nothing, but that was a lot to me because I was getting like 15 people per stream. Yeah, I know that's about half at most, but the fact that 15 people's I passed high school, everybody. 15 people came and watched my stuff and just stayed for a long period of time. Maybe not all the way through it because I had several hours of streaming certain days. But yeah, that was something else. Especially when they would interact. I mainly had streamed. I streamed a bit of Destiny, but honestly, I think the most positive influence were between streaming Dark Souls and streaming Subnautica. Now, streaming Subnautica was great because until I stopped, because I stopped after like 3, which was actually around the time I stopped streaming. But it was funny because I'm a huge coward. For those of you who don't know, and that again, that's probably a lot of you, because unless you actually came from Twitch, you don't know me at all in any form or fashion. And if you did, you're like one of the 30 people, and good job. You're in the minority, I'm pretty sure. 30 to like 7 billion. Sorry, I can't even make good jokes. It is almost 2:30, which means that this is almost 30 minutes long, which means I need to sum this up pretty quick. Yeah, I got a decent amount of success mainly in the Dark Souls fan base because they loved seeing new players, and I was not a new player by any means, but I was new to the first game. I played the third and I played the second, and then I played the first. I know this backwards, but the first game's getting remastered, so I didn't want to have to buy the first game and then deal with the low end quality, and then I got the remaster. Got all the way to Ornstein and Smell, and then I stopped streaming. Not because I couldn't beat it, but because I just stopped streaming. I did eventually beat them, but that boss is a toughie. I'll give it that. Anyway, yeah, I might maybe in the future. I don't know. My biggest want when it comes to streaming is for one a better connection, so I'm not kicking somebody off of a game, and the other being, I don't know. I want things like good borders. I want to look professional, as unprofessional as I may be. I'll add this as another thing. Would you? Well, okay, because this is one that's right off the top. Would I consider a face cam? Probably not for a long time. I don't have the highest view of myself, but that's not the whole reason. My room is cluttered in clothes, and my streaming setup is pretty much, it's in my room, but it's a couple tables to the side, and we have like a direct view of all like this stack of clothes. But I don't really have somewhere I can really go to stream any better, so I could always hook everything up in my closet for some better sound quality. But yeah, that is ramblings of a tired madman. I'll probably record something else while I'm here, but I'll probably upload it some other point. Thank you all for tuning in. I will hopefully see everybody in the next video that I upload, preferably before the month is over. Bye bye.